The year is 2007. Wizards of the Coast announces the upcoming 4th editions of Dungeons & Dragons, replacing the previous edition, 3.5. The company Paizo, who previously published D&D magazines and game supplements, were rightfully worried about the new, more restrictive game system license that 4th edition was being released under, which didn't allow for things such as the reprinting of rules. Because D&D 3.5 was released under the open game license, allowing for third parties to easily make D&D compatible material, Paizo decided that instead of supporting Wizards of the Coast, that they'd make their own modified version of D&D 3.5 that they called Pathfinder, which has since become one of D&D's biggest competitors. Likely in response to the backlash, when Wizards of the Coast released Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in 2016, we saw the return of the open game license. With D&D appearing on shows such as Stranger Things and the boom of online D&D shows such as Critical Role and Adventure Zone, D&D saw a new renaissance of popularity, leading to waves of fan-made content, the likes of which had never been seen before. And with that all said, you'd think attempting to revoke the open game license to the most popular version of the game, the one with the massive fan base constantly pumping out creative new ideas for settings, characters, classes, and more, it would just lead to an incredible backlash and the potential creation of a new Pathfinder. But sure, Hasbro, you just try pulling that. While I'm obviously not a lawyer, and I will be paraphrasing, my understanding of the OGL 1.1's goal of revoking 5e's continual open license seemingly lacks a legal precedent, especially in the case of a license that's been open for nearly 7 years without a single complaint, not to mention that 5e's OGL already had a rule in place stating that multiple potential licenses could be used simultaneously. What I'm getting at is that while I doubt they could actually get away with it, they sure as hell are trying. And the changes they seem interested in making could jeopardize the livelihoods of independent game designers, such as apparently wanting the right to reuse people's supplements and ideas without permission, and potentially creditor compensation. With the way Wizards of the Coast has been very careful to not call the update 6th edition, insisting that it's the same old D&D and how all 5e content will be compatible, it seems clear to me that they've been making a deliberate effort to not make another Pathfinder situation. Thinking that it was the branding that was the issue, when in reality it was the updated license that limited creativity. As I'm making this, the company Kobold Press already announced that they're releasing their own open and subscription-free fantasy RPG rule set they've codenamed Project Black Flag. I expect similar projects to start popping up in the near future. Because game rules don't fall under copyright, and these are ultimately games fueled by the imaginations of their players, I don't want the death of D&D to be a tragedy, but an inspiration. That ultimately we don't need some greedy corporation to tell us how to use our imaginations, and that we can continue going on adventures and telling stories with our friends, all by ourselves, because we the fans are the lifeblood of the hobby. We always have been.